creative friends, this is Joy. So I just finished up an art journal page and had all this leftover gouache that I decided to use up on some tags. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just adding a little bit of water to my brush to water them down a little bit, and then covering the tags here with some color. So I'm just quickly going over these tags to add some color to the tags. And then I take my heat gun and I dry them as thoroughly as possible. And after that, I go through my stencils and I decide on, what I want to put on these. So I put down my stencils and then grab a foam brush and then go over the tags with some more color to add a little bit more to these tags. And I also decided to, I still got more paint, so I pulled out some craft tags and I thought, oh, okay, I can use up more of this on the craft tags. And here I got a little bit too watery, so you'll see it kind of smudged underneath and made a bit of a mess with that one. And then I decided to get a different stencil for the next one to add something different to it. And I have some purple here that I did wet a little bit so that I could get it to loosen up and put on here. But again, too much water, smudge, okay, whatever. Just not having a good day. Get a different craft tag and thought I could sop up some of this paint with a different craft tag. So that's what I'm doing here, just trying to pick up some of that paint. And then I get the other one, the third one here, and decide to put some squares on here, but this time instead of dipping it into the water, I sprayed it just so it's not so wet. So that's what I'm doing here, and that seemed to work better. So I should have done that to begin with, just sprayed it instead of, dipping the whole thing into water, because then it just made it too much. And here I want to add some more to this, but with the purple, and so trying to get that in between so that I can add a little bit of that to the tag, and then again using this tag to kind of pick up as much of that as I can pick up. And so basically I end up now with these 5 tags with backgrounds. I went through this book where I have all these stamped images in, and I pulled out what I decided to put on these tags. So here I'm just quickly cutting around this quote and this dragonfly to put on this first tag. And that's what I'm doing here, is cutting the dragonfly out. And I don't cut it out like fussy cut or whatever. I mean, this is kind of fussy cut, but it's not, but I leave a little bit of a white border, I guess is what I'm trying to say, because it's just too much trouble otherwise. So I get the images that I want to put down on this tag. I grab my glue stick, which is a Craft Bond glue stick, which is a lot stronger than like the school glue sticks. So I'm putting those on my tag, and then I pull out my watercolor pens, Arteza watercolor pens, and go over to finish coloring the image. I had colored this dragonfly a while back, but never used it on anything. So I thought, well, it'll work good on this page. So I add some yellow and then go around the edge of the white on the dragonfly with the yellow to add color, and then add a little bit of green to this little flourish on the tag here, and then go around the outside with the black to outline my tag here. It says live your life, and then go around the whole thing with the black ink pad to kind of add, some more border around the whole thing. And then I grab this raffia, I think is what they call it, and I decided to add that to the top of the tag so that I have have that on the tag. So that's pretty much the first tag that I completed. And then I quickly grabbed the next one, cut around it, put that on the page, and did some coloring on it as well. This is the one where it's kind of a mess, and I was like, oh well, I'll put something pretty on it, and and then you won't really, it won't make a difference. You know, it'll be pretty. I'll make it pretty, but I didn't do so good with that either, which you'll see here in a minute. So I'm doing, I'm coloring the butterflies, and those are the butterflies are pretty on the page. And then the background, of course, I decided I would use yellow again around the background to color the background. But then when I decided to trace around the whole thing, I got a little bit carried away. So I don't know. I think it just went from ugly to uglier. But it is what it is. Whatever. I was having fun making these, and so you can't always come out 100% with making everything pretty. So yeah, it's good enough. I don't know what I'm gonna do with these tags, and here I go around the edge with like a dark blue ink pad. Not sure what I'm gonna do with these tags. I've got other tags I've made, but I never know what to do with the tags. I've got lots of tags that I've made. Put some raffia through the top of it. So I've got that on there, and that's the number 2 tag. This one here, I really like the way this one turned out. This turned out really pretty. So I got these peacock feather stamps that I'm cutting out. And again, I kind of cut out and leave a little bit of a white around the edges. I don't cut it right to the image. And then I have the word create that I thought would go with these two peacock feathers. And then again, I use my watercolor pens to color the peacock feathers, which I thought, turned out really pretty. Add a little bit of purple, which was nice because there's purple in the background of the tag. And then color the peacock feathers with this blue color here, which I thought was really pretty. So what I decided to do is, decided to color the feather, and then I decided to make it a little bit darker in the center going up the middle of the feather. I thought that would kind of be a nice contrast. So I kind of went over the center part again just to kind of make that a little bit darker and to give a little bit more contrast to this to the center of the feathers. So that's what I decided to do there. And then to create, I decided to just color it with yellow. And you could still see a little bit of a white around the feathers, which I also color those with yellow too. So I put those down on the tag using my glue stick. And then I, like I said, used the yellow just to cover up the white that was around the edge of the feather. And then I use a black to go around the word create, and then use the ink pad to go around the edge of the whole tag to finish this tag. And then I add some raffia to the top of it to complete the tag. So yeah, I mean, if you guys have good ideas as to what to do with tags, I would certainly love to hear about it, because like I said, I have lots of tags that I've made and I never know what to do with them. So I don't know. I've never found a good use for them, and I've thought about adding them to art journal pages, but they just don't ever seem to fit. I don't feel like they ever seem to fit. So here I got this boat and this quote that says, "Not all who wander are lost," which I thought was kind of cool. So I color the saying with a one color blue, and then I use a lighter color blue for like almost a sky color around the boat. So that's, I just want to make this quick, simple, easy. I had thought about going over the boat with like a black pen or something to darken a little bit, but yeah, I didn't. I just left it. So I went around the tag with a dark blue ink pad, and then got some more raffia to add to the top, and pretty much finished this particular tag. And I really like the raffia. It I've not had any problems with it, with using it and stuff like this. I've used it on other tags before. I like to use a raw use the use of raw materials, like raffia on tags like this. So here's this really pretty bird, and then the word dream. And I decided what I would do is make kind of like a banner out of the dream, and I wanted it to kind of go be underneath the wing a little bit. So here I'm just cutting the end of it, the banner, and then I'm gluing both of these elements down onto the page and getting them positioned right. That's the one thing I also like about the glue stick is once you put it down, you can like move it around. You have a few minutes where you can like just move it around a little bit to get it and exactly where you want it. So that's kind of nice. I go over the bird with this blue and the banner with the blue, and then I go around the edges of the bird with the yellow to cover up the white again. I guess we don't want white on these tags. And then I go around the banner with a darker blue, and then I go around the whole tag with a dark blue ink pad and add raffia to it. So that's pretty much the video for today and the 5 tags that I made. If you guys like the video, you can give me a thumbs up. You can also subscribe to my channel to see more, or you can leave a comment. I would love to hear from you, and certainly let me know what to do with tags once you make them. So here's all 5 tags, or yeah, 5 tags that I made. I thank you for stopping by and watching, and we'll talk to you later. Bye bye.